Hoppe Hour.
Are you ready? All right, everybody.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
Now, Miggs and Swig, Life Out Loud on 102.5 The Bone.
Let's get the show on the road.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Listen to me, Randy. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, whether you're white or black or Sasquatch even. As long as you follow your dream, no matter how crazy or against the law it is. Except for Sasquatch. If you're Sasquatch, the rules are different.
Forget it, Meatwad. I'm a circus freak. That's all I'll ever be.
Whatever.
Never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all.
What's up?
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they
I cannot think of a more irrelevant song to begin a radio show in 2022 with than would be Mike Jones. But here we go.
They didn't want me, now I'm hot, they
This is very irrelevant.
They didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me.
Before I came up in the game, nobody showed me love. They see me in the club and used to treat me like a scrub.
I didn't forget about you.
Cause my dollars wasn't swollen up. I bet they changed their
This is Ryan Hoppe taking over for the Miggs and Swig Show for today. Thank you to Don Miggs and Lisa DiBartolo. And before we get the show going, I want to let you know, we're going to play the interview with Allie from Meat Market with Don Miggs and Lisa DiBartolo in a second. But I want to let you know that Meat Market is in Hyde Park Village, and I am a man of my words when I tell you they have some of the best food in all of Tampa. It's insane how good it is. They are at 1606 West Snow Avenue, and they are at 813-280-1113. It's 813-280-1113, and tell them that you heard about it on the Miggs and Swig Show, and they'll hook you up.
Want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then.
All right, enough of that. Yeah, that song's very old. I am in the weirdest mood right now. So, first of all, before we get into that, if you're feeling hungover or you attended a crazy party last night and you want to let us know about it, because I'm here hanging out with you guys for the next 3 hours. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. But if you're feeling shy about coming on air, talking about the crazy party you went to last night, I was looking at Babs' social media, one of my good friends. Oh my, that party looked wild. So if you attended one of those but you're feeling shy, you can tweet at me on all social medias. My name is @Ryan Hoppe Radio, and then it's RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Now, I don't want to begin the show by talking about how tired I am, because I think out of any job ever, radio people should never complain on air about being tired, because this is a privilege and an honor to talk to Tampa Bay. And people that are driving in their car that are obviously tired because we're tired throughout life don't care that you're on air and you're tired and you had to wake up early. And that's not me just getting used to waking up early. I've always been annoyed whenever I hear radio people go, "Oh, I'm so tired." Cool. So is the listener. But listen, last night, I got absolutely no sleep, and it doesn't even feel like real life right now that I'm on air. So first of all, I worked here on Friday from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., ran the Best of Mike Calta and Roger and JP. Then I got off, and I'm like, oh no, there's some weird energy in the air. I couldn't put my finger on it. I see Isaiah, a.k.a. Creeper Chavez. Hey, what's up? I leave. That wasn't because of the energy. But anyway, so then I go to Wendy's and I'm getting my food. And there's something really weird. It's a weird vibe, man. I'm just waiting in line. I want my 5 crispy chicken sandwiches and my large fry, damn it. And I get the notification that Betty White died. And I was like, that's what the weird energy was. I was trying to figure it out for the last 5 minutes of going from Cox Media to Wendy's. It's about a 5-minute drive. So in those 5 minutes, I'm like, what is about to happen that's weird? And then Betty White died. And I got the alert from TMZ. And I was like, that's what the weird news was. And we'll get to that later. But that, like, drained the day out of me. Now, I'm not, like, religious. I find religion to be creepy. I'm not trying to get, like, dark on the show, but I'm also not an atheist. So I, like, the fact that 2012 was 10 years ago, it's just, a lot is going on in my mind right now. Kind of like, I would say, a quarter-life crisis. And I know a lot of Bone listeners are listening going, oh, midlife crisis, wait till you're 40. Trust me, at 28, I'm having it right now. And, like, Betty White dying was like the icing on the cake of me having an anxious day. Like, I essentially, now I get why people never leave their houses. Growing up, I was like, oh my God, I want to go out and about all the time and just live life. And now I'll have some jerk off piss me off at Target, taking forever to get things on the conveyor belt or whatever. And I'm like, I'm done for the day. Because of one minor inconvenience, I never want to leave the house again. And that's sincerely how I am. But last night, I was like, you know what? I want to get some good sleep. So I go to bed at 7, and the fireworks are going off. My neighbors are having a crazy party. And it was just, I don't know, man. This is the first time I have no complaints about being here. This is the first time that I had to go to bed early on a New Year's Eve. And it's weird because you want to, like, complain about all the neighbors having fun, but you're the one that has to go to bed at 3, working a once-in-a-million lifetime job, getting up at 3 in a business that I am honored to work in. So I'm very grateful to be here. But you got to remember, everybody was essentially getting the party going when I was waking up. So the whole night, my girlfriend's trying to, like, cheer me up and hug me, and it's just firework, and then neighbors drinking shots, and I think I heard neighbors banging. It was a lot for me. So this does not seem like real life that I am on the air right now. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. And then shout out to my girlfriend. She's one of the hardest working people I've ever met, but she just found out that she's anemic and her health won't improve, but she's been working like 12-hour days as a face painter at the zoo, so she's been tired. So when you mix my ADHD and my bipolar, where sometimes I have mood swings, sometimes I'm not the easiest to be around, ooh, breaking news, imagine that mixed in with my hardworking girlfriend that just wants a loving boyfriend when she comes home, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired, yeah. That is the life and times of Ryan Hoppe. Everyone's like, oh my God, you got a hot girlfriend. And I work really hard at it too. That's what's funny is whenever people are like, how do you get a hot girlfriend? I'm like, I don't know. You treat them like a human being and just hope for the best in life. 727-579-1025. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, he's starting to get mature old man syndrome is what's happening.
So do I just accept it?
No, you just roll with it, my friend. You just get mature and in life, just ride that wave. You're feeling it early. Some people feel it in their 30s. You're feeling it now. So that's a good thing. You're just getting mature. That's all it is.
So I'm not about like a resolution at all. I used to be, and I think the pandemic just took out any concept of me caring about time because it's man-made. But if I were to do a resolution, how could I be more like what you're saying, if you know what I'm saying?
Just file away last year and start a brand new file. As a older, mature individual, just roll with that wave. And you'll see a difference by the end of the year. You do one thing a day, you do 365 things in 1 year.
Well, also, I got to see my great uncle he just turned 90, and I saw him in August when I went up to Illinois, and he told me that he's done something every day of his life. So he told me he's like a carpenter, and he builds tables and that. And, like, he was doing it right in front of me while we were talking at 10:30 at night. He essentially told me to just keep moving, is essentially what he said.
Yeah. Yes. yes, keep on keeping on, keep moving. A body in motion stays in motion. Your brain stays active. Once again, it's just maturity. You're starting to feel it.
So what did you do last night?
I went to bed at 9:30.
Me
listened
too.
to the fireworks, and that was it. And then I woke up. I took a golf shot on my property. I hit the flagstick, the first golf shot of 2022, and I almost got a hole-in-one. So that was my one thing for today. Now I'm at Burger King.
I had the weirdest thing happen. Right when it reached midnight, there were so much fireworks and people yelling, but I was also dreaming, and I was like in REM. So like I was just about asleep, and I felt like the world was ending because I was sleeping and I was hearing all the noise because I live in an apartment complex. Bro, when I tell you it was the weirdest sleep I got last night, I felt like I woke up with a hangover because of all the noise in my apartment complex, and I didn't drink a sip last night. It was a very bizarre night.
You just said in your dream that it looked like your road was ending. That's called the road construction of life. You just came to a crossroads. You need to turn left or right.
Oh, man, this is getting very dark. Oh, which way should I go?
That's completely up to you. That's whatever way you go, there's really no turning back. You just ride that wave.
I appreciate
but
that.
Ride it with maturity.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to ride that wave to break.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Sing it to me, boys. Oh yeah, 2007. So my plan is this. I'm going to manifest a radio show where I play throwback hits and then I do my talk show. So this is kind of my test trial.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Oh, we should.
Let's talk about you and
But
me.
this is Hoppe Hour taking over for the Miggs and Swig Show. Thank you to Don Miggs and Lisa DeBartolo for that. I should probably turn down that song. It's a little dirty. This made me sad just thinking about this.
If you're looking for me, you better check under the seat, 'cause that is where you'll find me, underneath the seat.
We are now older than C-Lab 2021. That was in the past. And if you have no idea what that means, that's because you didn't watch Adult Swim 22 years ago. There's a show that was called C-Lab 2020 that was from the 70s about like the environment. So then they remade it in the year 2000, and all the Adult Swim nerds online were saying, oh my God, it's 2022. That show's in the past. Yes. And you wonder why it took me until I was 21 years old to get laid. It's because I'm reading message boards about Adult Swim at age 28. So I was talking earlier, and then I got sidetracked by the call, but you can call me. I'm not mad if I get sidetracked by a call. I'm just explaining what happened. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. And so I was working a lot on Friday. I was here from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then I got off. Then like I was saying before, I had this weird feeling like some huge news was about to happen. Like it was too calm out. It was kind of like the energy prior to Kobe dying. It was like this energy that I had in April when my mom crashed my car and I'm just sitting here at work and I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. It's always like that energy you have when you're like, things are too normal. Well, I was at Wendy's and I don't know if it's normal to order a crispy chicken sandwich, all 5 of them, but that's what I was doing. And I was like, man, like something's about to happen. I just felt it in my heart. So then I'm in the drive-thru and I'm waiting and whatever. And I get the alert from TMZ that Betty White died. And I was like, bingo. And here's my thing. I was a huge Betty White fan like everybody else. I've never seen an episode of The Golden Girls. I didn't really watch Hot in Cleveland. I liked when she would do like those TV specials in the early 2010s because she had a resurgence after Hot in Cleveland. I feel like millennials were like in 4th and 3rd grade in mid 2000s, not trying to make you feel old. That's just facts. And at that point, she was a little, I don't want to say washed up, but like people were kind of forgetting about her. And then she had that huge resurgence in like 06, 07 when Hot in Cleveland came on. And then she was just on TV all the time in like 2011, 2012. I adored her, but I never have seen Golden Girls. Like I've seen bits and pieces with my girlfriend, but I was looking for Betty White prep. And I found this clip of her talking to Katie Couric, which I'm sorry she had to. And she talks about just like the meaning of this life that we have. All right, here it is.
Wonderful outlook on death. She would always say, nobody knows. People think they do. You can believe whatever you want to believe, what happens at that last moment. But nobody ever knows until it happens. But she said it's a secret. So all growing up, whenever we lose somebody, she'd always say, now they know the secret.
Thank goodness you don't know the secret, Betty, or you wouldn't be here. But a lot of people probably want to know to other people who want to have a rich, long life like you've enjoyed.
When I pontificate, it sounds so, you know, oh, she's preaching. I'm not preaching, but I think maybe I learned it from my animal friends. Kindness and consideration of somebody besides yourself. And I think that keeps you feeling young. I really do.
So then half of the radio business must feel old. Never mind. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Yeah, it was one of those things where I feel like it's not that we did a manifest of it because we're all going to die at some point, and she died when she was supposed to die. But everybody was too much about, oh my God, she's about to be 100. And I know you're trying to act like it's going to happen, but like, I feel like we jumped the gun a little bit. 727-579-1025.
It truly is a sad day in Hollywood as we remember a star who brought us so much joy, the remarkable Betty White.
Damn right she was remarkable.
Her career spanned 80 years. She had a hit TV show at the age of 93. You know, Betty has been a part of our lives for so long, it really is hard that we now have to say goodbye.
It really does make you think about dying because you're like, man, somebody who was around for 100 years, it essentially is now gone. And like, I've just been thinking about it more. I'm like, where do I go when I die? And I'm not trying to be dark on this woohoo New Year's, but like, that's what I think was so weird about her dying, like with 9 hours left in 2021 going into 2022, was you're just like, damn. But here's the thing. Time is relative. It's just a number. It's man-made. And I'm not trying to be Ryan Hoppe Sage over here, but I've been doing a lot of soul searching since the beginning of the pandemic. And I have friends that believe in the law of attraction. And my thing is this. Quit saying, oh, damn you, 2021. Damn you, 2020. We've been doing this. I remember it was really bad in 2016 because like Carrie Fisher died and George Michael died. I believe Prince died. And I remember everybody was like, bring on 2017. Enough of 2016. And now if you go on TikTok or social media, people look back on 2016 like it was some great year. It was okay. But I'm afraid that's what we're going to do during this pandemic because I'm already seeing it. People are missing being in the quarantine. If you go on social media apps like TikTok and that, they'll be like, remember when we did this and this? I'm like, yeah, it was awful. Like, we live in the past way too much, man. Like, the past is nothing more than just in your brain. Like, appreciate the current moment.
You don't think of accomplishing things, but you also subconsciously, you work for the things you really believe in.
And I think her positive attitude really kept her alive because a lot of the people from that era, they were not able to reinvent themselves. The Dick Van Dykes did, Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore, but those are like the main names. But think about all the people that weren't as famous as them, that were famous in that era, that pretty much, I don't want to say died not being famous or anonymous, but there's probably so many names that were huge in her era that just never really made it that big. So that's what was so cool about her, was she was relevant her whole life.
That was September 2017, our final ET sit-down with Betty, who was 95 years young at the time.
What is the secret to your longevity?
Blessed with good health, really good health. I love a cocktail. I love peanut butter and jelly.
I feel like she would have been fun to party with. I feel like she partied hard in her 30s and 20s and 40s. That's not how you do it in a row. But I think she kind of calmed down later on in life. But I think, like, man, like, you would get some good life advice from her. You're just sitting at the bar, drinking a cocktail, hanging out with Betty White.
And stuff. But I don't abuse the things that I know. If you're blessed with this good health, you should take advantage of it.
And I think that's what she did right. Everybody in that era smoked all the time, and drank all the time, did some cocaine allegedly. They were partying hard. And I feel like because she wasn't like sober, but she wasn't like crazy. Because you look at the names like Judy Garland and all of them were a mess. And I feel bad that they were a mess. I'm not saying whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like her just being cool enough kept her alive for essentially a century.
This is one of the icon's last public appearances. She was all smiles, running errands the day before her 98th birthday.
There was something that happened between like 92 to 98. I know it's 6 years, but she went from being like youthful, and then they were showing a picture from last year, and she looks 98. I don't know if she quit putting on makeup. Call me, 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Let me know, as a makeup artist, were they making her look young, or did she genuinely age from 92 to 98? Because, like, to me, when you see a really old person, you're just like, they're old. But her aging from 92 to 98, I cannot explain. If you would have saw her, just look up a picture from last year to see what I'm saying. She didn't look the best. And I think that was the sign that Betty White wasn't doing great, was you weren't hearing from her anymore. And then the media was trying to hype it up for ratings, and People Magazine did. And it was like, I felt like people exploited how great Betty White was. Like, they were just kind of like, they took it for granted and were just kind of weird about it. Because everybody felt like they knew Betty White, but we didn't know Betty White.
Betty continued working, doing mostly voiceover work. She maintained her sassy and irreverent sense of humor. I mean, remember this dab? It remains one of the best gifts ever.
Okay, rest in peace, Betty White. I don't know enough about Betty White. Like, I know enough, but I'm not like an encyclopedia. Kids, that was a thing they used to use back in the day prior to the internet. So I don't know a lot about Betty White, but I knew enough to do this segment. But I'm going to go to break at noon from FitSage Fitness. Devin Prasad will be calling in. He is the best trainer and sage in the area. He's going to give life advice going into 2022. But usually, I'm going to go to break playing this. Usually, SNL is terrible, but leave it to Betty White to be the only funny part of 2013 when it came to SNL, because that wasn't a good year. Actually, they haven't been good since 1990, but here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Betty White.
I'm hosting Saturday Night Live. I'm not sure. Many of you know that I'm 88 and a half years old, so it's great to be here for a number of reasons. You know, I'm not new to live TV. In 1952, I starred in my first live sitcom, which was Life of Elizabeth. And of course, back then, we didn't want to do it live. We just didn't know how to tape things. So I don't know what this show's excuse is. You know, I have so many people to thank for being here, but I really have to thank Facebook. When I first heard about the campaign to get me to host Saturday Night Live, I didn't know what Facebook was. And now that I do know what it is, I have to say, it sounds like a huge waste of time. I would never say that people on it are losers, but that's only because I'm polite. People say, but Betty, Facebook is a great way to connect with old friends. Well, at my age, if I want to connect with old friends, I need a Ouija board. Needless to say, we didn't have Facebook when I was growing up. We had phone book, but you wouldn't waste an afternoon on it. Facebook just sounds like a drag. In my day, seeing pictures of people's vacations was considered a punishment. And when we were kids, we didn't say we were single. We were just kids. It was weird if you weren't single. Yes, we had poking, but it wasn't something you did on a computer. It was something you did on a hayride.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
Now, Miggs and Swig, Life Out Loud on 102.5 The Bone.
Let's get the show on the road.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
What's happening?
What up?
Hey! It's your boy Lil Jon.
What up, bro?
Pick your me, click. What's up, Phony? What's happening? What's up, Sean Paul? What's happening? Hey, now, ladies and gentlemen.
What up?
It's about that time. About that time. Turn this thing on out.
Let's do it.
Now let me see everybody do this. Hey, let's go. Happy fighters.
What's going on? It's Ryan Hoppe and Hoppe Hour taking over for Miggs and Swig today. I'm your host, Ryan Hoppe, hanging out with you.
Hey, snap your fingers.
727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025.
Let me see you do it.
Hey! Okay, enough of that. Jesus Christ. So on the hotline is fitness trainer Devin Prasad, because I wanted to get good vibes to the universe. 2021 was crazy. Betty White hasn't even been dead for a day. And I feel like we began 2022 with a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry. And I don't want the Bone fam and everybody listening to freak out. So let's welcome from the hotline, Devin Prasad, one of the best workout trainers in all of the Bay Area. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Ryan? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on the show. So what I want to ask you, man, So first of all, you're a sage and you're also a workout trainer. And the thing I like about you is that you live a hectic life, but you're positive about it. Because there's a lot of workout trainers that like bring the negative energy to their workout, but you're one of the few trainers to not do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what I want to ask you, man, as a sage, how did you feel about it going from 2021 into 2022? Were there any thoughts that reached your mind about it? Or were you like me where you were just sleeping, just trying to figure out what was going on?
No, the thoughts that were going through my head was just growth. My main thing for this 2022 year is just to grow and try to be better each day. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. So,
what is your key to being better each day? Because there's people that have OCD that need to write everything out. For me, I write down some things, but I also put a mental image in my brain. It's something I've picked up from my boss, Mike O. and John Brennan. I've noticed they're good at organizing. So for you, Devin, what are things you do that you could teach the listeners about being organized going into 2022?
Things I do, I just try to not procrastinate, which is really hard for, I'm sure, a lot of people out there. You just got to, whenever things come up, you just got to try and take care of them as soon as possible and not put things off. Also, if you feel like, not getting up and moving around or, going to a workout or eating the right food or anything of that nature, just focusing on making those right decisions in those small moments is going to change a lot. And that's going to help you, overcome procrastination and just really keep you on the right track going forward, for sure.
And I think the other thing, too, is you have to be nice to yourself because this is your temple. This is your body. You know what I mean? Because, I began losing weight in 2011. I was going to take my graduation picture, and I began weeping because I couldn't fit into my black pants at all. I literally couldn't get it around my gut. So my mom got me a trainer, and in the beginning, I thought I wasn't doing anything right. And then, I began to notice the changes when I graduated. So wouldn't you agree, Devin? Because you've been in the game a while, and I know you train people that are just beginning and people that have been in it for a minute. The key is you have to be nice to yourself and realize that it's a marathon, not a race.
Correct. So if you ever slip and fall, you just got to get up and get back on the horse. You can't sit there and be upset at yourself for missing one workout or breaking your diet one time. You just got to understand that it's about consistency and stacking those days. So if you fall off, just get back on it, and just start right back over. There's no better time to start than just now. So if you fail, then don't worry about it. Keep moving forward. Have a short memory about it, and just keep on going forward and continue to be nice to yourself and, look at yourself in the mirror every day and just do what you can. Do what you can to be a better you.
And obviously, nobody wants to fail in life. It's not like a thing we go, oh, my God, I want to fail. But Michael Jordan didn't make every free throw. Donald Trump didn't get reelected. You know what I mean? You're going, and I'm just coming up with that. I don't care that he got reelected. I didn't vote. I don't care. I'm not being political, but I'm just saying, you're not going to win always. So I really think the biggest problem, Devin, is that we compare ourselves to the Kardashians, women do, or whatever you identify as, and literally they're a photoshopped body, and they have flaws too. Or professional athletes maybe compare themselves to other professional athletes. I feel like as humans, we always compare ourselves to others, and we really shouldn't be because everybody goes through issues in life, and they're not going to show that on their IG reel. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And, failure only sets in when you give up. That's when failure happens. So as long as you're on the right track and you're not giving up and you're continuing to strive to do the best each day, then you're not failing. You're actually a success because you're striving towards an ideal goal that you have in mind.
What is your take? So you have a few kids. I believe you have 5, right?
Yes.
Now explain what is the difference when you go from 1 to 2 to 5? What was the experience? What was each one like? Because I'm fascinated by you because you're 31 years old. You're only 2.5 years older than me, and you have 5 kids. So how does each birth and then the whole process of being a father, how does it change you as a man?
So it just sets you on a different path. It just makes you realize that you have lives to take care of now that depend on you, and you can't sacrifice any of that. You have to make sure that that's in the front of your mind at all times, and you just have to go out there and do what you can for them. At the end of the day, they got to eat. Bills have to be paid, and that all that stuff has to happen, and there's no way around it. So it's either you're going to make it happen or you're not going to make it happen. And there's in my reality, there is no way that it can't happen. It just it has to happen. So with that being said, you just formulate a mindset that of success. Everything's going to go your way, and that's the way you go into it. And if it doesn't go your way, then that's okay. That's the way it was meant to be, and you just keep on going forward.
So
go
on.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, for my first child, almost 13 years ago now, because he'll be 13 coming up here soon. It was a shock. It was a big shock because I was away in school, and I came back down when he was born, and it was just a whole life changer. It's like putting your life in a bottle and then just shaking it up and then just pouring it all out, and then it's just like you got to reorganize everything. And it's a great feeling. Don't get me wrong. It's a feeling that, no other experience can really imitate, having, a child and everything, but it's definitely, it can be a little stressful sometimes.
So we are currently talking to Devin Prasad, who is a fitness trainer in Tampa Bay. And Mike Calta said it best. He said that prior to Joey being born in 2006, he didn't care as much about what his bosses thought. And he was, not that he didn't listen to them, but he said after Joey was born, he didn't want to lose his job. So that's when he began to listen to bosses more. So I feel like even if a talented, one of the greatest ever radio show hosts is doing it, that's when Devin, that it's a legitimate thing to provide for your family.
For sure.
727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Do you have some life advice or do you have some fitness advice that you need answered from Devin? Let us know. What is it like, Devin? Were you, because you're very ripped. You kind of, I don't know what you look like. It's hard to, because I know what you look like, but I'm not the best at picking out what you look like. So before I ask you this, how would you explain what you look like? Because you're like all muscle.
I would describe myself as athletic. I would say I played some football back in high school and college a little bit, and I definitely kind of kept that same form. So a lot of times people ask me if I play football still and play professional sports. So I would say I look like a professional athlete.
You look like a good like cornerback. Like you would like take a big hit and make sure you get the interception.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I get a lot. Definitely, for sure.
So, were you always in shape? Because there's a lot of people that probably go, "Oh, it's too late to get into shape. I grew up chubby." Were you always blessed with being in shape, or was there a time that you were more skinny and maybe not as ripped?
Yeah, no. So, growing up, I played sports, like I said. So I was always in pretty decent shape. But when I stopped playing football, and I was working for another company, I actually kind of gained a few pounds, got up to about 210 or so. And, I was just kind of just not really happy with myself. I wasn't working out, just didn't really have energy levels or any of that. And, so that was one time that I was out of shape, I would say, for sure. I probably couldn't run a mile in more than 12 minutes or so. So that was one. And then during the quarantine, when all the gyms shut down, I lost a lot of muscle mass because I wasn't able to lift any weight. So I was doing a lot more running, a lot more calisthenics, things outside, and I dropped down to probably about 175 or so. I looked really skinny and just really wasn't too happy with that. But, that was just what it was with the whole quarantine and everything. So,
dude, that was the weirdest time. Now that we look back on it, I can't believe it's been 2 years, but I'm not going to say that very cliche line. But what I mean is, like, it seemed normal at the time that we weren't leaving our houses. Like, I know you are probably a guy, since you're very spiritual and laid back, that you were probably not against it, but you weren't as for being at home. But it's really weird to think that, like, we didn't leave our house. I'm not saying we should have left our house or we shouldn't have, but either way, it's very bizarre that we just, like, we're at home. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, it was very strange just because I was actually working some security back then, and I was actually still out on the roads sometimes overnight, and it was just really strange to see the roads completely empty, just no one on them. It was strange.
What I thought was weird, too, was when there was no traffic when you're on 275, and then you began to tell that the pandemic, not that it's over with, but in Florida, I don't know how to describe it, but you could tell that people were going out and about more. This is probably June 2020, because all of a sudden, like, there were more cars on the road. To me, that was the way to test that the pandemic was just kind of being taken differently down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Now, Devin, before I let you go, I know you're a guy, you're always thinking, because you listen to Alan Watts and you listen to a lot of these different guys. You're not listening to, like, Tony Robbins and all the ones that make hundreds of millions. Like, you're a guy that listens to, like, the OGs, like Alan Watts. So you're a very well-spoken guy. You have a lot of opinions. What would you like to share to the Tampa audience before I let you go, just overall?
Yeah, overall, I would say take this opportunity in this new year just to be a better you, get out and move, whatever a better you constitutes to you, just go out and do that. If it's making more money this year, if it's being healthier this year, spending more time with your family this year, keep that focus in your mind and just work every day. Do a little bit each day to get closer to that goal.
And one thing I've been doing is I've been more present in the moment. Since Facebook went down like October 2nd or whatever it was in 2021, I've been using my phone only 4 hours a day, and I'll go out and have my girlfriend or me, we'll drive to like Metro Diner or whatnot, and I'll leave my phone at home. And I think that would be my advice for the year, is to listen to Miggs and Swig every Saturday from 11 to 2, and the fact that you should not be on your phone all the time, because you don't want to like be at the end of your life, Devin, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, all your memories are you refreshing Snapchat views. Like I did that this morning, but it's been a conscious effort, man. It's literally my addiction. There's no joke about it.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. You said it best. Live in the now. Be present. Engage with people that are directly in front of you instead of people that are, online that you never met. So those interactions that are going to be directly in front of you are going to be more beneficial to you.
Well, this was Devin Prasad from FitSageFitness.com. Thank you for coming on Hoppe Hour, filling in for Miggs and Swig. It's been a lot of fun. Happy New Year to you and your family, and keep up the good work. The Bay is proud of you.
Thanks, Ryan. Happy New Year to you as well. Thanks for having me on.
All right, peace out, bro. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. I have a prediction that I was thinking about, and I want to hear your predictions for what 2022 is going to be like. And I'm not trying to take hacky calls where we're acting like it's going to be the Jetsons and there's going to be flying cars and everything's going to be dandy and wonderful. You know what I mean? I don't want you guys thinking that the Jetsons is just going to be flying around. But at the same time, I have a prediction that I will get to next that is going to doom us all.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Happy Hot Topic.
What the hell ever happened to Jenny Ortega? Where is she now?
Let me show you how it's supposed to be done.
Don't get me started.
Why?
It's getting kind of crowded in here.
Wear your mask.
Back up off me. I'm feeling like I'm suffocated. Now here's my problem.
I wonder if, like, Jenny Ortega, when she was singing this in 2005, if she would have thought that she would be this irrelevant and her airplay would be on Hoppe Hour.
What you been thinking about me?
At least she made it.
Won't be that easy. Hell no.
Nah, I've made it.
I'm crazy. No. Why don't you get out of my life? Get out of my sight.
727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025.
I know what's going on. I won't be second to none.
No, you won't.
Back up 'cause I'm crying my space.
So, when I went to break, I said that I had a little bit of a teaser for you. Well, here is my prediction for the new year. It's not good. It's quite frightening, actually. It's not good at all. Took forever to get to the drop with this X-Files music, like 24 minutes. By the way, this is a show that I keep telling myself that I'm gonna watch, and I never get to it. But I feel like this is the ultimate spooky music. When I tell you that America is going in for another quarantine, but Florida isn't. And I'm not getting political. I'm not going to say if we should go into a quarantine or not, because I don't talk about COVID. I don't really talk about politics ever. My grandpa taught me that you don't talk about sex, religion, politics, and money, and that's all we talk about now. So my grandpa's advice was pretty irrelevant. But I have a really bad vibe about, I don't know, I picture like April or May, it's like 1 million cases a day, and then Biden goes up there and he's like, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not even going to try to impersonate that dummy. Oh, every politician's a dummy. That's one thing you'll learn from me. I don't vote. I don't care about politicians because they don't care about me. So I thought Trump was a dummy, and I think Biden's a dummy. But you know he's going to go up there and say, oh, yeah, quarantine for all of America. And Ron DeSantis will not allow that. I promise you right now, I just see it right in front of me with all the cases and all the traveling. And it'd be crazy if, like, liberal Illinois with Crook County, which they call Cook County, if they were to, like, block off us from taking in people from there, which would be fine. It was very funny. This week, my friend, he visits, like, 3-4 times a week, or 3-4, that'd be a lot. He visits 3 to 4 times a year, and he comes down with his family. And it's very fascinating seeing somebody who's from Illinois go, oh my God, the weather's so good. And I forget that I once was, waiting at the bus in 10-degree weather in the suburbs, freezing my ass off. Like, we really take this nice weather for granted. Like, there's a lot of flaws about Florida. Don't get me wrong. But man, like, sometimes I look at the snow going on in the Midwest. Like, I'll just look at the Weather Channel for a second, and I'll be like, I'm not there right now. And a hardworking average Joe that lives in this if it be Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Chicago, Des Moines, all those Midwest cities, they save up a whole year's worth of money just to come down for a week, and we live here and we don't have to deal with snow. Damn, life's pretty good. I love when Florida people, and call me if you think I'm being inconsiderate, 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. But I love when Florida people go, oh my God, I saw some snow in Tallahassee, or oh my God, I want to go to Tallahassee to see snow. It's like, no. Florida people, the first time they see snow, it should not be, oh, there's a cute little few centimeters of snow that sort of fell from the sky in Tallahassee. You should deal with the Chicago weather for 7 days and then realize that Florida's pretty great. Oh, I've never seen snow. Good. Imagine this. Imagine you work a very long day or you go to school all day and you're tired. And then all of a sudden it goes from the sun being out to purely clouds, and then it begins snowing, and you have no control of how much snow that comes down. And you have to shovel the snow because it doesn't just melt. You have to grab a shovel, which they don't use in Florida, and you put it on your lawn. Then you go inside after hurting your back. You watch a little bit of Netflix while taking off your coat. Then you have to turn on the heat in the house. And then 2 hours later, there's more snow. And then you got to get up early in the morning. So if you get up at 5:30 and you're at work at 6, like I get up at 3:25 a.m. and I'm here at 4. If we lived in the Midwest where there's snow, you would get up at around 2:55, 3 if you're getting up at 3:25 a.m. because you got to take the ice off the car with an ice scraper, and you got to get the shovel. This is everything you're doing. And people are like, oh, I want to see snow. No, you don't. Go to the beach. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sean. I'm a former Minneapolis resident, and went to school in upper northern Minnesota. The highs this week are -1 and -2. So if that puts it in perspective.
Where are you currently residing?
Tampa.
Isn't it crazy when you look up at it and you're like, oh my God, like that's like the same continent is freezing cold and then it's like sweaty down here. It's bizarre, bro. Weather's bizarre.
No, yeah. The worst part is waking up at 5 a.m. for a job at 8 because you have to shovel your car out in 2-degree weather.
Exactly.
For an hour.
That's what I was just saying. Was everybody's like, oh my God, I want to see snow. I go, well then drive up, get a Motel 6 and just shovel all the time because that's what it is. And you quit sledding around the age of 12 to 16. So it's like there's literally nothing good about it. And then I don't know, Minneapolis, I'm trying to say Jesus, Happy New Year. It's a very big city. So there's a lot of suburbs, and I'm from Chicago. And it's a very big city with a lot of suburbs. I don't know if Minneapolis was like this, but in Chicago, it's such a big area, it's such a big metropolis and suburbs that they don't get to all the side roads, that the main roads that are busy are plowed, but some of the side roads, like in your residential neighborhood, there's no plows, there's not enough people. And now with the work shortage, I'm assuming there's even less plowers.
Yeah, the like neighborhood roads would always get done last, but typically they do a pretty good job doing that. And plus Minneapolis, they have the whole indoor walkway throughout Minneapolis that I forget the exact name of it, but you don't have to step outside if you're working in a business center and want to go to another district. You can just walk indoors.
What is Minneapolis like? Because it's a very big town. I don't know why I said town, but they had the Super Bowl there. They have Mall of America, but I feel like no one ever talks about it. I feel like it's too cold and it's placed too high. You know what I mean? Like it's too near like Michigan and that. Because like no one ever really goes to Minneapolis, but I feel like if it was like in Illinois or somewhere, people would go. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, so the Minneapolis St. Paul Metro is pretty big, and one thing I noticed coming down here is you can drive like an hour from North Tampa to South Tampa, and you're essentially still in Tampa. that doesn't really happen in Minneapolis. You're out to the suburbs pretty quick. And obviously there's a ton of bike paths and pond or lakes and stuff that we pride ourselves on in the summer, and everybody's out in the summer. So,
well, bro, what was your name again?
Sean.
Thank you for the call, bro. I appreciate it.
No problem. Love the show.
Thanks, homie. It's the second time doing this show. 727. I love doing it, but search Hoppe Radio on every single major platform. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. This next topic, I'm not going to get crass. This is FM radio. I'm also not a shock jock. But 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. If you are in OnlyFans or you're a cam girl or you work in porn, this is not going to be a filthy discussion. But there's so many people that are in porn in Tampa Bay. There's so many of you that love sex that I want to hear from one of you, and here's why. Why is there not more normal topics when it comes to adult entertainment? I don't know who wants to bang their dad's girlfriend. Now, granted, maybe it's because I came from a mother and father, and then I was an only child, so I'm very much bland. I'm very much like vanilla bread. Vanilla ice cream, not bread. I'm very much vanilla. But I just don't look at like my friend's mom growing up and I'm like, oh my God, I got to go over and clean the plumbing and then bang her. I think there should be a new category where it's like, oh, you get home, the girlfriend's been working all day, you're tired, you order some Chinese food, and then you bang it out. Like, that should be like a category, because I sincerely, on the days that I'm alone, I cannot relate to this, oh my God, I want to bang my teacher, or oh my God, it's like, I don't know where this came from, but it's obviously popular, but it's just creeping me out, man. It's a weird world. Working at the Bone has definitely humanized the porn business for me. I've met a lot of people over the years. I'm friends with people that have OnlyFans. And like growing up as a kid, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, they're having sex and I love watching it. And now you see like when you know people that wrote porn, and I know Pap from the Mike Calta show wrote some DVD covers or whatever. Like when you meet people that literally worked in it and it's not just fun, I find that fascinating. 727, oh yeah, the phone lines are blowing up. Everyone wants to admit they're in porn. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. I was like thinking the other day, I was like, man, what if I made an OnlyFans? I never would, because nobody needs to see that. But it would just be, I just think it'd be fascinating. I love the celebrities, the rappers like Tyga and all these people that are irrelevant. So they're like, let's have sex with multiple people to be famous. No one has talked about our music for 10 years. And me dating the Jenners was pretty sketchy at best. But also, something's been on my mind lately. And I was waiting for a day like this where I get to host the Miggs Swig Show to talk to all of Tampa about this. But before I get to that, Lisa Out Loud with Lisa DeBartolo, the one and only classy sweetheart. Her segment, Lisa Out Loud, is always sponsored by Meat Market. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Meat Market. 1606 West Snow Avenue, and that's in Tampa. 813-280-1113. That's 813-280-1113. HydeParkVillage.com. Look up Meat Market on Facebook and just look it up on Google. I went there last year with Mike Calta for my birthday with Mike O and Gio, and it's like a very laid-back place. Like it has good vibes and a lot of beautiful people, me included. But here's a topic that's been really bothering me. Spoiling movies and the art of when you can announce spoilers and the technique of when you can announce spoilers. I think that's all the words that can come up. But what I'm saying is this. There's one thing, so let's say you're at work and the Spider-Man movie came out 7 days ago and you're amongst coworkers. You should probably go, hey, I'm going to talk about the Spider-Man movie. And if nobody leaves the room, you talk about it. Because at some point, you can't quit hiding from the fact that the movie is out. But you know what I'm sick of? Is the people that purposely spoil it to be like shock jocks, to be edgy at the office. Jesus, not everything's about radio. I don't know why I said shock jocks. To be a douchebag. Like, I saw some listener, and he was like, oh, and he like showed a few pictures from Spider-Man. And I'm like, if you were talking about it on like a Reddit forum or whatever websites people go to, 4chan, or if people use message boards anymore, that's one thing. But I'm like, why would you volunteer to ruin a movie for somebody because you're that miserable with your life that you don't know what you're doing? Because the other thing that goes with that is this, is there's that thing that people say where they're like, well, they had a week to see the movie. Well, if you have 2 jobs and then you go to bed and you get home at 6 and you go to bed at 9, you have 3 hours of daytime. And the Spider-Man movie is probably around 2 hours, so you really don't have time to see it. So I feel like we should be more caring towards spoiling a movie. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it, but man, the same dudes that have to ruin a movie just to impress everybody, just to be edgy on social media, are the same dudes that think that they need Magnum condoms, that like to listen to Tool, bro. Yeah, I'm edgy, I'm wild, and I'm growing a beard. And yeah, it's not cool. It just really bothers me because I'm a very empathetic person. I feel things hard. Probably because I'm bipolar and ADHD, but I feel things hard. So when I see a movie getting spoiled, I'm like, oh, well, someone that wanted to see it, their life is now different because they're going to know what's going to happen at the end. Sometimes I wish I wasn't as empathetic, but sometimes I love being empathetic. I don't know if that makes any sense because sometimes I feel things too hard, and then sometimes I'm doing great. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. So I was talking about this earlier, but I want to say it again for all the people that are listening. This is Ryan Hoppe with Hoppe Hour, filling in for the Miggs and Swig Show. Thank you to Don Miggs and Lisa DeBartolo for this opportunity. But there's one thing I want to get to, is a lot of us need to quit living in the past. And I'm not saying that I don't do it. I'm not saying that I don't live in the past. But as Ben Swig says on the Miggs and Swig Show, if the queen had balls, she'd be the king. As the profound Benjamin Heldfund says, if the queen had balls, she'd be the king. And I'm seeing recently a lot of Gen X listeners, and call me and let me know if it's okay to have a regret. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. But I truly believe that living in the past and regretting things is one of the dumbest things you could do because it wasn't supposed to happen. If it was supposed to happen, it would happen. I don't know. I just find people that live in the past fascinating because it's like, oh my God, remember the 1990s? Yeah, 4 decades ago. I'm not saying that I don't miss the 90s, but I also was in preschool, and it makes all of Bone Fam feel old. I'm just saying. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour, filling in for Miggs and Swig.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Thunderball, some give it to, some give it to, some give it to our girls. 5 million and 40 naughty shorty. Baby girl, all my girls, all my girls. Thunderball say, well, I'm on the way, the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature. temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom.
I loved this song growing up. I was like in 6th grade when this came out because I had no idea what he was saying. And he was like, I'm not going to impersonate it because I feel like that'd be rude. But I was just always like humming to this. Like I never knew what he was saying, but now I do.
Well, I'm on the way, the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you.
It's always weird when you read the lyrics and then you're like, oh, that's what they've been saying. Like, your whole life you're wondering what the like song is saying, and then when you find out the lyrics, you're like, oh, that was not it at all. The perfect example to me was this song.
Yo, listen up, here's the story.
I had the like CD edit that had the 6 versions, and me and my dad were going around the house trying to figure out what they said.
Is it just blue, like him, inside and outside? Blew his house with the blue little...
If you were to ask somebody, what did the year 2000 sound like? It would be this song.
And everybody around.
Why?
'Cause he ain't got nobody to listen.
No one listens.
I'm blue, I've been beat, I've been died.
So me and my dad would go around the house, like I was thinking saying blue die, and he was like blue die. There was this short period where me and my dad were close, and it was during this song.
I'm blue, I've been beat, I've been died, I've been beat, I've been died.
Like, it's crazy to think that this was 22 years ago, but it's crazy to think how old a song from the year 2000 sounds. Like, you're not going to hear this on Top 40 radio. Although, I feel like I'm going to pull a manifest that'll either become a TikTok trend, it probably already is, or it's going to become like a new remake. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Happy Hour. As Don Miggs said, because I got the approval of Donald Miggs, Happy Hour is taking over Miggs and Swig.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
At number 10, it's Lady Gaga. In January, she wowed the nation, belting out the national anthem at President Biden's inauguration.
Biden was just taking a nap. These are the top 10 things from the last year.
Our number 9 top TV moment is the jaw-dropping interview Meghan Markle and Prince Harry gave to Oprah.
There wasn't really anything jaw-dropping about it. It was like, obviously hearing that the royal family is racist is very despicable, but like, there was a lot with this Meghan Markle interview. Anything that had not... Okay, so let me figure out how to say this. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Anything to do with racism and Meghan Markle, I was completely against, because I think if you have a racist bone in your body, you're an ignorant moron, and I don't want anything to do with you. But a lot of the other things that she was talking about, I was like, you signed up for it. Like, I love when Meghan Markle was like, I had no idea who Prince Harry was. Get out of here. Either you're very irrelevant and had no idea what was going on, which could be possible because you were like 35 and not a famous person, like you were B-list. So it does seem plausible that you wouldn't know who Prince Harry is, but come on.
One of the most shocking moments, Meghan saying someone in the palace was concerned over baby Archie's skin color.
Hold up.
There are several conversations.
There's a conversation with you,
with Harry,
about.
I wonder when you're at home and you're hanging out with Oprah, if she says everything like this.
How dark your baby is going to be?
potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
At number 8, it's the hyper-violent South Korean smash hit Squid Game, which became the most watched show ever on Netflix.
I liked it, but it was so loud. But then again, I don't know why I'm critiquing something being loud when I might be the loudest person I've ever met.
Complete with the most disturbing rendition of Red Light, Green Light.
Red light.
At number 7, it's the House of Horrors Turpin sisters speaking out for the first time to ABC's Diane Sawyer. They survived the unthinkable, chained up and tortured by monstrous parents before their daring escape.
I don't know how you had the courage, never having spoken to anyone like that.
I think it was like us coming so close to death so many times.
For the first time, we saw police body cam from the morning the 13 siblings were found living in filth in their California home.
Our parents are abusing. They abuse us. My two little sisters, they're chained up right now.
Our number 6 top TV moment is the much anticipated Friends reunion, 17 years after the hit 90s sitcom ended.
I did not watch that. I had no interest to see poor Matthew Perry looking just dead inside after each sitcom that failed. It just was very depressing. I actually watched Friends last night, and I like it, but I just don't want to forever have it ruined. To me, Friends is like shepherd's pie. Like, it's not like the best meal ever, but it's comfort food. But watching them look old, yeah, I'm good. And it's not me, like, trying to put the thought of getting old to the back of my head. Like, it's not me suppressing thoughts. I just don't need to see all these people like, yeah, that was 4 decades ago, and now we're irrelevant.
The guys may have aged a little, but the ladies look like time stopped.
That's rude.
Number 5 is a...
Oh, the guys look awful, but the women look perfect. What?
Much more serious TV moment that gripped America when former police officer Derek Chauvin learned his fate.
That was, I loved when this happened and you saw his face. The idea that he thought he was going to get away with it and that he didn't was like, man, it brought chills down my spine. I was like, bye, douchebag.
Guilty.
Chauvin was found guilty of murdering George.
And the thing that was crazy about it was like he had his mask on so you couldn't see his face, but I love seeing those little creepy beady eyes going back and forth, realizing he's guilty. Oh man, that was like a great thrill. Like there's been TV shows that have gone off the air with a great ending, like The Wire, and you feel satisfied, but seeing that sociopathic piece of garbage with his beady eyes looking around like I'm going to jail or prison, that was a very powerful moment.
George Floyd, and was sentenced to 22.5 years behind bars. At number 4, it's the most talked about documentary of the year, Framing Britney Spears.
Oh, I thought it was Tiger King 2. Just kidding.
Which aired on FX and Hulu. Many fans believe it helped lead to the termination of Britney's 13-year conservatorship.
It helped lead to that, and it also gave people a lot of things to do when they were bored. Listen, I would say about 75% of Free Britney had good thoughts for her and were trying to help. But man, there was that hot 25, 20%, whatever percentage it was, the exact amount of people that were just doing it for clout. Man, they were just doing it for clout. Like there was that podcast that was reporting on Britney on days when there was nothing to report on. And I'm like, that's exactly what they were doing in the 2000s when Jay Leno was making fun of her. But now it's just Gen Z making a podcast. But to me, you can tell the people that genuinely were rooting for Britney are the ones that aren't talking about her as much now that the thing is over with. But the people that keep talking about it, yeah, you're just using her for attention and you're using her for clout because you have no redeeming talent. You have nothing going on in your life and it gives you something to do.
Our number 3 top TV moment is Kim Kardashian's first time hosting Saturday Night Live.
The whole time I was wondering how the hell did you get into that outfit?
She gave the show a much-needed ratings boost while skewering, well, just about everyone.
First of all, that is good that Kim Kardashian improved the ratings, but I mean, SNL is so lame that you could only go up. Oh, you're an SNL purist and you've been watching since 1982, so you're brainwashed to think that SNL is funny, but if it had any other name on it, it wouldn't be as funny. Got it. The thing with Kim Kardashian as well was when you saw her and Pete Davidson kiss, I was watching the one episode of SNL that I've seen in 10 years on Hulu with my girlfriend, and I told her, Pete and Kim are banging. She's like, why do you say that? I'm like, the way they kissed when they were doing this Aladdin skit, like, you were like, man, there was something to that kiss.
I'm so much more than just a pretty face.
What? What are you?
And good hair, and great makeup, and amazing boobs, and a perfect butt. Basically, I'm just so much more than that reference photo my sister showed their plastic surgeons.
What I like about Kim is the fact that she's able to laugh at the fact that they are what they are. And that's what took her so far for being a talentless mogul. Yeah, she's doing good at being a lawyer, and she passed her exam, but there's no redeeming talent to these people. But the fact that they can laugh at that is why she went farther than Paris Hilton. And her tape was just a little bit better. Oh, it's news about Adele. That's going to put me to sleep. I don't care about Adele. Here's what else happened in 2021.
These are some of our most popular stories of 2021. This was the moment a 4-year-old realized the air fryer was on fire.
I'm surprised the parents weren't home taking social media pictures going, oh my God, I got an air fryer. Oh my God, I got an air fryer. Because when I get an air fryer, I have to let everyone know I got an air fryer.
All of a sudden, the soundtrack to Frozen starts to play and she rushes to find an adult.
He said, Daddy, you gotta come see this. And she's doing this with her hands.
Dad scrambles to find the fire extinguisher, but no luck. The family's dogs join in to help.
Yeah, Rufus is just hanging out. He's not helping, he's just watching.
That's when he picks up the flaming air fryer with his bare hands.
That would be like when okay, I'm not comparing a fire to me breaking a glass, but that would be like if I broke a glass and I'm like, oh, the cat watching? Yeah, he's totally helping. He's a part of the team.
Watch out! Watch out! I was trying not to hit the dogs and there was plastic dripping.
The air fryer was tossed into their Jacksonville, Florida pool. The stove ruined. Dad says he cooked lunch, French fries and chicken nuggets, about 30 minutes earlier. He says the air fryer was off, but still plugged in.
When you're
Oops.
done using your air fryer, you always want to unplug it. And it's the same thing you want to do with other appliances that have heating elements. You
I love this passive-aggressive news reporter. You want to unplug it?
always want to clean your air fryer after using it. Grease accumulates on the bottom, and that could definitely cause a fire.
Honestly, I should probably pay attention to this news clip because that seems like something I would do.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone. Doesn't suck.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Are you ready?
All right, everybody. Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
Now, Miggs and Swig. Life Out Loud on 102.5 The Bone.
Let's get the show on the road.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Happy Hot Topic!
Oh yeah, 2022. Time is irrelevant and man-made. Get the party going. What's going on?
One night in a disco, chilling with my friends.
Sounds fun.
Feeling kind of low.
Why? Life's short.
I was singing on a friend.
And what happened?
Suddenly I saw her.
Damn, she looked good.
Dancing on the sea. Just like in a dream.
And then what happened? Tell me what happened.
I'm on fire. I feel so high. Dancing all night. You blow my mind. 'Cause you're so fine.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Famous
personalities who found themselves thrust into the public spotlight in 2021, sometimes not in a flattering way.
Yeah, most of the time.
None more so than actor Alec Baldwin.
Keyword actor when he was crying on TV. Bro, you're the one that's alive. I didn't shoot the gun. Then how did the bullet come out? And you have George interviewing him, giving him softball things. I was like, shut up, Alec Baldwin. Someone once said it best to me, though, when he talked about haters and people that are rude and people that don't believe in you. It's like, if you're able to look yourself in the mirror, it's all that matters. Alec Baldwin definitely doesn't look himself in the mirror. And if he looks himself in the mirror, it's that a shame. I'm able to look myself in the mirror. It took years, but now I'm so handsome, how can I not?
And the tragic shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the movie set Rust.
The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No.
Then how did the bullet come out? That's what was so annoying about him. Was he claims to be the woman's friend, the one that passed away, and he's like, oh, I feel bad in that. And then he's like, oh, but I didn't shoot it. And it's like, but then there was no explanation. And then ABC, and I'm not getting political because I don't lean either way because I hate all politicians because they're elitist douchebags, but the liberal-leaning ABC and Alec Baldwin's very liberal, like they protected him. They didn't ask him anything. To say that what they asked him was like even an interview, you're basically insulting any interview ever. Like I've seen better interviews on public access TV. You're ruining their credibility by even giving this Alec Baldwin interview a chance. Because he literally said nothing. Oh, but I didn't shoot the gun. What?
Time will tell if he can ever get his career back on track.
I think it was kind of done, but he was fine. I mean, oh, the movie Rust just sounds like it was just going to kill it in the box office. Hey, what do you want to see? Rust. Get the hell out of here.
Rapper Travis Scott found himself in the center of the Astroworld disaster in Texas.
Yeah, and then all the fans were like, he didn't notice everyone dying in front of him. When your promo video is of you having riots happen and people running around, you knew exactly what you were doing. He's smart to hide behind a lawyer, but at the same time, oh, I didn't know what was going on in front of me. Do you not have eyes? Were you not able to see the ambulances? Oh, they were just hanging out in an ambulance. What?
Where 10 people lost their lives at his concert.
Nothing like when you have fans that paid $300 for tickets, beg him to quit doing the show, and he continues to. He is horrible. You thought that was annoying? You think that sounds unprofessional? That's legitimately what his music sounds like.
He has said he did not hear the repeated calls to stop performing when the chaos began.
Oh, yeah, it's just so easy for the rich and elite to get away with it. Like, if this was some open mic rapper at, let's say, some local venue, he would be definitely prosecuted harder. Things would be harder for him. But he's just going to pay this off. You know, Kris Kardashian pulled out the checkbook and was like, how much?
Longtime Bachelor host Chris Harrison was let go from the popular reality show. Harrison came under fire after defending contestant Rachel Kirkconnell, who liked a photo on social media featuring a Confederate flag and
dummy
who attended an Old South plantation themed party in 2018. Wendy Williams was off the air for most of 2021 for.
Oh God, Wendy Williams was off for most of this year. I mean, I hope her health improves. But TV show-wise, Wendy Williams might be one of the most repulsive human beings of all time. She's the one to talk about cheating and ruin lives, but let's keep Wendy's life private. Get the hell out of here. You do have a catchy theme song. I don't think you're doing too good, Wendy. Again, I hope she beats the Graves' disease and everything she's got going on. But on TV, she's one of the most repulsive people I've ever seen. She talks about other people's lives, but then keeps hers private. Get the hell out of here.
Several health issues. In September, the 57-year-old talk show host was diagnosed with a breakthrough case of COVID. She also has publicly battled Graves' disease for years.
what was breakthrough about it? That's what I love when the media, they're like, oh, it was breakthrough. But what was different than everybody else's? Like Wendy got to like premium COVID. I'm legitimately asking this. What is breakthrough COVID?
We saw her running errands around New York City, getting into a wheelchair. Celebrity guest hosts have been filling in for her on her show and will continue to do so well into the new year.
And I love how the fact that all the reporters and all the guest hosts, the ratings went up without Wendy. That's gotta hurt bad.
Josh Duggar was convicted on child pornography charges.
Burn in hell.
Duggar, who found fame on the hit reality show 19 Kids and Counting, is the eldest son in the deeply religious Duggar family.
They creeped the hell out of me, man. I didn't like them before I even got caught on Ashley Madison with that email leak. And then I love when they're like, oh, we can't divorce because of religion, but my husband having side chicks and banging girls in Philadelphia like he did, which you should never. Oh, that was mean to Philadelphia. I think they can survive with their anger. When you have Josh Duggar banging everything and you're not divorcing him, your marriage is a sham. Oh, but I'm hiding behind God. Oh, get out of here. God's embarrassed. God's like, oh, you had more kids with that Duggar? You had more kids with Josh Duggar? Gross.
He later admitted to a porn addiction and to cheating on his wife, Anna.
Oops. God wouldn't approve.
The 33-year-old now faces up to 20 years in prison.
He'll get 2 years of probation. He's not getting anything.
Singer R. Kelly was convicted on sex trafficking charges. The trial lasted for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was a long trial. Also, I liked a lot of his songs growing up. Same Girl, Ignition Remix, all these songs. And I can never listen to his music again because it's so sexual and it just legitimately brings chills down my spine. And then when you have him and Usher recording the song Same Girl and talking about messing with the same girl in 2007, I'm like, what are you talking about, Usher? What are you saying, bro?
More than a dozen women testifying against him. Following the verdict, we spoke with one of R. Kelly's accusers.
Did you think this day would ever come?
No, I didn't, but thankfully it has. I just want us to heal and to move forward.
Damn right. And if there is an afterlife, which I don't think there is, but if there was, and if there is, R. Kelly will burn in hell. But if there is an afterlife, this man is up there hanging out in heaven.
Legendary NFL coach and sportscaster John Madden died on Tuesday morning at the age of 85.
It was so sad when he died because, like, it's such an iconic name because every year in August, my birthday is September 3rd, so I'll ask for money to get the new Madden game. So it's been a part of my life forever, and it has so much meaning because I had no friends growing up and I never left the house. So basically what happened was I would play Madden or NBA 2K while just hanging out in my house with the windows open because we didn't have air conditioning. Like, there's a very big meaning to Madden, especially Madden 07 when Vince Young could literally throw for 500 yards, and that's basically how many yards he ended up throwing after 2012. Like, I love the mid-2000s Madden where it was like the running quarterback would throw a 90-yard touchdown. Like, thank you, John Madden, for that.
NFL announced the sad news, saying his passing happened, quote, unexpectedly. League Commissioner Roger Goodell shared in a statement, on behalf of the entire NFL family, we extend our condolences to Virginia, Mike, Joe, and their families. Referring to John's wife and...
What a heartfelt message from Roger Goodell. My goodness, John Madden is one of the most important names in all of sports ever. And all you can write up, which I'm not surprised because he's a sociopath, Roger Goodell, on behalf of the entire NFL family, our condolences. What? You can't write anything else?
And 2 sons. We all know him as the Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, well, they did go on a little bit.
Of the Oakland Raiders and broadcaster who worked for every major network. But more than anything, he was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather.
I just think that's, even though they went on to say more, it's just a little bland. It's like, I don't know, I don't know. Roger Goodell is a weird dude, so it doesn't really surprise me. You're not like, oh my God, Roger Goodell isn't able to feel feelings. He seems like such a heartfelt, caring individual.
Dwayne Johnson says he won't be returning to the Fast and the Furious franchise.
No, the 12 movies in. I thought the series should have ended in 2009 when the movie, and quotations, okay, that was a weird way to say it. Here's the movie. The Fast and the Furious. The only difference in the movie name was adding the word the, and it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But I honestly have a lot of respect for the Fast and Furious movies because they're so atrocious that they're watchable, and they inspired all of the millennials to put a lot of money into suburban cars that don't really need to be cooped up. You know what I mean?
And he's calling out Vin Diesel's, quote, manipulation after making a public plea to come back.
The war of the two muscleheads. A good riddance.
Here's the thing about it, right? So we're all adults.
While speaking to CNN.
Are you? Oh, we're an adult. Cool, bro. So am I. Wow. How awesome is that?
CNN, The Rock admits he was, quote, very surprised by his former co-star's request. Saying, quote, this past June when Vin and I actually connected not over social media, I told him directly and privately that I would not be returning to the franchise.
Finally, you moved on, The Rock.
The actor adds, quote, I was firm yet cordial with my words and said that I would always be supportive of the cast and always root for the franchise to be successful, but that there was no chance I would return.
You know how they always talk about like artists getting sick of singing the same songs over and over again when they perform? I bet The Rock just got so bored of just playing the same movie over and over again. Speaking of something that's not boring, Lisa Out Loud during the Miggs and Swig Show is always brought to you by Meat Market, which is over in Hyde Park, and that's not a boring time. When I tell you that they are one of the best places in all of the Bay Area, one of the best places in America, I'm a man of my words. It is that elite. 1606 West Snow Avenue, and that's in Tampa. 1606 West Snow Avenue, that's in Tampa. 813-280-1113. That's 813-280-1113. HydeParkVillage.com. Meat Market Tampa on Facebook for all the info. That is the place to be. And when you go there tonight, tell them that you heard about it on the Miggs and Swig Show, and they'll hook you up. If you had not mentioned that you heard about it on the Miggs and Swig Show, and let's just say you were going to go, they were going to hook you up anyway, because that's how legit and how delicious Meat Market is. But when you mention Miggs and Swig, it gets even better. All right, back to the show. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025.
West's ongoing divorce from Kim Kardashian, he plans to stay as close as possible to her and their kids.
You know, she finally felt like now that she was dating Pete Davidson, that Kanye West would go away forever. You would never hear from him. And then he's like, hi, I moved right across the block. That's got to be unsettling for Pete.
Literally close.
I'm rolling with it.
Earlier this week, E.T. learned that the 44-year-old rapper purchased a $4.5 million home on the same street as his estranged wife and 4 children.
Me too. I bought a house last week for $4.5 million. That's what we all do.
North, Saint, Chicago, and Salm. And now, a source is opening up to E.T., explaining the thinking behind the Grammy winner's decision. Quote, Kanye really wanted to buy a home near Kim and their kids to be close to them. Kanye saw a house on Kim's block was on the market and jumped at the chance to get it.
Oh, yeah, it's totally about the kids, even though he's the same guy who said when he was running for president, oh, we almost got an abortion. Oops, I didn't mean to say that. Oh, such a lovely human being. He didn't move across the block from Kim because he wants to spy on her. He totally is like, oh, yeah, I want to hang out with my 4 kids. I'm not saying he doesn't, but that's not the real reason. Come on now. I'm not saying he's a bad father. I'm sure he's great. I'm just saying he didn't really move there because it's like, oh, I want to see my kids all the time.
Plus, the source says the musician thinks it will be easier to co-parent with Kim if they live close to each other. But that's not Kanye's only intention. The source adds that the Grammy winner also wants to win Kim back, and
nothing says success like trying to get back with your ex. Oh, when you think about relationships since the beginning of time, it's always when you try to force getting back with your ex that it always works. Get the hell out of here, Kanye.
He believes he still has a chance.
No. While you're saying that you have a chance and you're moving across the block from Kim Kardashian. At that same moment, Kim Kardashian is having consensual, amazing sex with Pete Davidson. And that to me is something that dudes don't think about enough when they go through a bad breakup. Is you go, especially if the dude is dumped, the dude goes, oh, I'm so great. This is what you think the first few weeks. She's totally going to miss me. And then you're like, oh, she's totally not able to go out on Tinder and Bumble. Because you're thinking like, oh, she's not going to come back, but you're in denial that you got dumped. And when they move on and have a boyfriend real quick, you're like, oh, yeah, I got to reformat myself. And that was a weird way to say it. Me saying a weird thing on the radio, who would have thought? I got to reinvent myself. That's a better word. That's what happens when you get dumped and then the ex moves on really quick. You're like, my life is short. I should probably move on too.
So what does the Skims founder think about the purchase?
I'm sure she loves being close to him.
Well, our source says Kim is fine with it and agrees with Kanye. Quote, she feels like it will be easier to co-parent and watch their kids in privacy.
I always believe and trust in him that he will eventually explain himself because I know his heart.
He never really explains himself. He just babbles on, and everybody's like, this is the poet. This is the Lord Christ speaking. Like, he's just another dude. Someday he'll be laying dead in the ground unless he gets cremated. Like, I never get why people like bow down to celebrities. Like, oh man, who cares?
But this isn't Kanye's first attempt at getting Kim back. Earlier this month, Kim attended Kanye's Free Larry Hoover benefit concert.
And I'm going to quit playing it because I don't want to see if they swear or not. I don't want to find out. 727-579-1025. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, man. Wow. I've made it in life. My second time filling in for the Miggs Swig Show. The one and only Fritz calls in.
Hey, Hoppe.
What?
You're amazing, dude. I mean, Jesus, I'm laying here. I'm just so totally entranced, dude.
What are you entranced by? What am I doing?
Something great.
How much
you become a radio? You become a radio show host, bro.
Man, I need to relax. So I'm interrupting you while you're complimenting me. It's a very Ryan Hoppe thing. Have you drank or smoked yet today?
I've had a couple of beers.
Hell yeah, bro. Like I say, I record for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life, and that's definitely you. What are you sipping on?
I drink a Busch Light.
Why? You're not a 16-year-old high school kid getting the cheap beer. Don't you want to have, like, a Bud Light or something? Like, what draws you into Busch Light?
It's cheap.
So is Bud Light. Busch is so awful, though. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it reminds me of, like, hangovers at age 17, and then my dad kind of knowing that I went out drinking and my head hurts, and he's just sitting in my room going, what did you do last night? And I'm like, I don't know, bro.
Well, I used to drink a Natural Light, right?
Why?
But
why?
But
you deserve a Bud Light or a Miller Light. Why would you go for okay? Do you just drink for quantity? Are you just looking to drink as much as possible?
Pretty much.
I feel you, because that would definitely be the drink to get because it's so cheap. The one, I don't know if you've tried it, but it gives me a panic attack every time, is Four Loko. Like, that is a no, I'm good.
Oh yeah, I had it once before. I mean, I had heard so much about it that I was kind of scared, right? Four Loko.
Well, it's just there's so much caffeine in there that it doesn't feel healthy. Like, if you go and you always take an Uber or a Lyft or a cab, because paying even $75 for an Uber is better than getting a DUI, you losers. I saw a few people getting pulled over this morning. I was like, good. Get them, police. But what I'm saying is this. I'm saying the fact that there's a difference between like a really good Red Bull and vodka, like that upper and downer. than like Four Loko. Like when I drink Four Loko, bro, I'm like, am I dying? Like there's never been a time that I've had a Four Loko and I felt like I had a successful evening. It doesn't really bring out the best in you.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I mean, and every once in a while I'll drink me some Jim Beam, you know, but that's not that often. You know?
I don't really like, I mean, I like Mike's Hard Lemonade. I like drinking a bottle of wine after work on Sunday, and it's just me being honest. I like beer. I'm not really into like Jack or any of that, man. Like shots is what always changes the night because I always take an Uber. Ask my mom. I literally have charged so much money for an Uber. And the difference between drinking shots and not drinking shots is when you're in the Uber, you can talk to the driver and be coherent. But if you're in the Uber and you've had shots, I feel like I'm more annoying.
Well, you know, I mean, look, I'm blind, so I don't drive anymore. So, well, I'm not 100% blind. I'm kind of blind, but I haven't had a license in decades. But all I do is sit around and listen to the bone.
Hell yeah, bro. You know? I love that. We love that.
Yeah, it's true. But and I'm telling you, Hoppe, I mean, you're a professional radio show host now.
Thank you. Tell everybody else that because I need the support. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but Don Miggs and Lisa DeBartolo let me do this, and I believe in myself that I could do this. So I believe that if Fritz believes in me, I should believe in myself because to me, you represent the everyday man, and I'm not just saying this to kiss your ass because you're listening, but like you listen all day, you drink beer, you love the Bone, you're honest. To me, you represent Bone Fam.
Well, I'm telling you, dude, a couple of years ago, you know, you were having self-doubt, and I called in then, and I said, look, Hoppe, you know, I mean, just have a little faith in yourself, brother.
Thank you.
You know, you sound great, you know, and now look at you.
Oh, thank you, Fritz.
It's awesome.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I don't want to nauseate the audience with compliments about me. So before I let you go, what would the wisdom of Fritz be about how we should approach 2022?
Just bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, man.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Are you ready? All right, everybody.
Pay attention.
It starts here.
Now that we're all prepared, let's start the show.
Now, Miggs and Swig, Life Out Loud on 102.5 The Bone.
Let's get the show on the road.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Whatever.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Happy Hot Topic.
The Biggie Duets.
What up?
Jazzy Fizzle. Jagged Edge. Biggie Smalls. Ladies and gentlemen. I go on and on and on and go take them to the crib unless they want. Easy. Call them on the phone and platinum Chanel cologne and I stay.
Dress to impress.
Spark interest.
727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me if you're shy and you don't want to call in. Yeah, Ryan Hoppe Radio.
Drop it off when he see his B.O. Back in my mind, I hope she's man, she spilled the drink on my cream wallows. Reached the gate, hungry just ate. Riffin', she got the beat to work.
One of the greatest songs ever.
She ain't trying to wait.
I should probably keep this down. It's the radio edit, but sometimes YouTube's definition of a radio edit is not the FCC's version of a radio edit.
According to multiple reports.
All right, let me rewind this right here.
According to multiple reports, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver are officially divorced.
Oh, it wasn't him banging a nanny 11 years ago? Oh, I'm sure then if you didn't leave him for banging the nanny, it's because of his original personality.
More than 10 years after Maria's initial filing.
He's great. He's great. He's a great husband.
Great husband. He cheats on me all the time with the nanny. Great husband, no.
The couple met in 1977 and tied the knot in 1986.
So they've been loveless in a sham of a marriage since like 88, 89?
E.T. was actually outside the church on their big day.
Like, I wonder legitimately how many times he's cheated on her and how many times she's cheated on him. I'll say over under 1,000.
They were married for 25 years and share 4 children together.
Well, I think whenever Arnold speaks, people are always interested in what he has to say.
Not really, besides when he was governor, I guess.
Maria was seen by Arnold's side during his campaign for governor of California in 2003.
I think it's great that all these people come out and take time out of their day.
And I don't really talk to him, but I'm just kind of with him. I don't know why. We're going to wait 18 more years because this clip is from 03. Oh, this 19 years, Jesus.
You know, come out here to cheer Arnold on.
Months after his term ended, Arnold and Maria announced their separation in May 2011.
And then I'm just going to be with him for another 11 years. Why? I never get why when you're being cheated on. Never mind. I just don't get what she was seeing in Arnold, where it's like, why? Like, he's past his prime. I don't know. I get he made good movies, but what was she doing in the last 11 years when she went for a divorce before going through with it, finalizing it? What took 11 years? You know what I mean?
Controversy struck days later when it was revealed Arnold admitted to fathering a secret son 14 years earlier.
Oops.
The mother was a longtime employee of their household staff.
Can you imagine that? Like, it's a whole messy situation.
Shriver first filed for divorce on June 1st, 2011, citing irreconcilable differences.
But we'll wait 11 years. It's not that much of a difference.
Get together and have a smile straight ahead here, guys. Straight ahead.
But the exes have remained on friendly terms, frequently appearing together with their kids at public events.
So they were basically waiting for the kids to become teenagers. That's probably what it is.
We get along really well.
We got to keep the family brand of the fact that we're such a good family. We got to wait until the kids are 18, and then we'll leave.
Arnold opened up to E.T. in 2012 about their separation.
We have a great time raising the kids together, and so, you know, it's really an end.
And we've never slept in the same bed for about 3 decades, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
The most important thing is that the kids are doing well. And Maria always has been an extraordinary mother and always has worked with the kids very closely. I was always more off working and being on location.
Yeah, you were. That's what you call it. And you notice how he never says she was a good wife. He's just like, good mother.
And she was doing the work. And so together,
she was doing all the work. I was out banging women. Oh, I'm a good man now.
We always were a good team on that.
Whatever, Arnold. What a weird guy. A politician cheating on his wife? Wow.
Spears is ready for her comeback.
What's going on with Britney?
Yeah, I would say. A source tells ET that the 40-year-old pop star is, quote, actively eyeing different brand deals and entertainment opportunities.
I get that now that she's free, she wants to do what she wants to do, but man, take a break. You just went through a lot.
Adding that several companies have reached out to her with offers and nothing is off the table.
It's several companies. I feel like a lot of companies did. I feel like, and even like a small company, like some mom and pop company probably reached out. Why not?
Fun for me. Quote, she's excited to put her businesswoman hat on in the new year and explore different ventures that weren't available to her in the past.
Hell yeah, you go, Brittany. You're a real warrior.
Britney is her own decision maker now, and she wants to expand her professional horizons. She's just waiting for the right time for everything.
That's good. She's not rushing into it. She's not forcing it. She's taking time. It was almost like for the last 14 years, life has been hell.
I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years. It's a really long time to be in a situation you don't want to be in.
Tell me about it.
Of course, last month, a Los Angeles judge ruled to terminate the conservatorship that has controlled the pop star's life, career, and finances for 13 years.
What's next for Britney, and this is the first time that this could be said for about a decade.
Yeah, what?
Is up to one person, Britney.
And seems Brit might be getting back to her musical roots, too.
Right at that moment when he announces that she's going back to being Brit, you can hear a lot of the people that were using her for clout going, woo! We can write more blogs and pretend to care about her.
Britney.
More podcasts. More exploitation by pretending to care about her mental health. Because if you cared about her mental health, you would quit covering her because now she should be left alone.
And seems Brit might be getting back to her musical roots, too. Last week, the songbird shared this clip to Instagram, belting out some high notes and vocal drills in her bathroom mirror.
What she needs to do is release music that's not with the auto-tune or whatever she's used, the processing, because her voice without auto-tune is very unique. Hey, she's kind of got the like vibe that she would be singing at an open mic in Gulfport. Like, she's got chill vibes, bro.
I want you to know.
Sing it, baby.
And in the since deleted caption, Brit teases, quote, "Psst, new song in the works."
She kind of sings like this girl that I was friends with benefits with for like a year after my breakup with my ex, and she used to sing like that. Like, she was a good singer, but I'm not good at like showing emotion of when I'm not into like what I'm listening to or seeing. You know what I mean? Like, somebody can show me a video and I don't want to watch it, and I'm going to always show the expression that I don't want to watch it because of my ADHD. I can't hide emotions. I'm kind of weird like that. And that's how it was with my friends with benefits, is she would be singing, and I can see the art. I can see the talent in what she's doing, but I was like, yeah, probably why it didn't work out with us.
As for her relationship with fiancé Sam Asghari,
oh, he's not a cloud chaser.
ET source says he is a huge support for Brit and is encouraging her in every way.
You go, bro. You go. You got weird vibes. I don't really dig you, but we'll see how this goes.
She inspires me.
Quote,
yeah, and her money helps.
things are going very smooth and steady for them as a couple, and if anything, their relationship is even stronger since getting engaged.
Yeah, it probably helps, too, that her father's not, like, running the operation anymore.
She's doing great. I'm great. It's the happiest time of our lives, and we're just enjoying it.
ET chat.
You go, bro. You're just living the life, man. You just are a jack of all trades. You're a really talented guy. You're a really good person.
It's time of our lives, and we're just enjoying it.
ET chatted with Brit's man last month, and he teased what's next for them.
Oh, please tease us, man. We need the teaser from Sam. Who the hell are you if it wasn't for Britney?
Already know. Everyone knows already. Sooner or later.
Sooner or later what?
A wedding. Yeah.
That wedding's not going to be covered by every podcast that claims to care about her mental health. Oh, that's right. You will all be there waiting.
In time for the new year, Demi Lovato is ready for a fresh start by debuting a bold new hairdo. Let's get into it.
Demi Lovato, I don't care what she identifies as, because in this short lifetime, whatever gender you identify as, whatever pronoun you have, go for it. I don't care. When she came out and announced her pronoun in May, good. You can do what you want. But then she was like, I'm California sober, which means you're smoking weed, but you're sober, and she was a drug addict. And I was like, it's not called being sober. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025, because she ended up quitting the whole California sobriety. So obviously it didn't work. But are you a Bone listener and you're doing it and it's working? I wonder what the Florida sobriety would be. I don't think I want to know.
New year, new you, new do? Well, that's the mantra Demi Lovato is currently living by, except they aren't waiting for the new year to show off their latest hair transformation.
I feel like she just needs to work on rebuilding herself, because every time she's doing this new brand, she's letting the whole world know. Like, I'm using social media less, and I'm just like working on my skin and having my girlfriend do masks on me. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm trying to be like more professional, but I don't post it. Like, I know I'm letting you know right now, but I never talk about it. But she's always doing a new look, or she went to a Joshua Tree and did weed and maybe some LSD or whatever, and she saw aliens in the sky, and then there was a whole, or I think it was ghosts, it was one of the two, they're both fake, and she saw it, and they made a Peacock series about it, which, first of all, is that how low Peacock is? They would give her a show about going after a thing that's probably fictional. And second of all, the reason she saw the ghosts or aliens is because she was doing weed. But all the reporters were like, oh, yeah, no, it's because they're real. Get out of here.
Demi chose Christmas Day to show off their new buzz cut on Instagram. And wow, the look is definitely dramatic, but suits them all the same.
Good for her. 727-579-1025. 1-800-771-1025. I see Don Miggs tweeted. Let me see here. I want to keep you up to date with everything going on in the world of Don Miggs. Make more time for family. It goes so fast. Happy New Year. I agree. That was a very deep moment from Don Miggs.
Dakota Johnson is giving fans a rare glimpse inside her life with Chris Martin.
She's doing it the right way. I didn't even know they were dating. That's the way you do a relationship. Because then you can do each other.
Notoriously private star opened up about her relationship with the Coldplay singer in a new interview with LUK.
Oh, that's got to be the most boring relationship ever. I bet he's just a good dude and they just lay around and don't do much. Because this song right here puts everybody to sleep, so I hope you're not driving. Oh, yeah. Let's get the club going. This song, I feel like every individual person that hears this song has a different deep emotion. And I think that is what Coldplay was going for.
While she didn't spill too much tea, the 32-year-old offered some insight on how they spend their time together. Quote, "We've been together for quite a while, and we go out sometimes, but we both work so much that it's nice to be at home and be cozy and private."
I can relate to that fully. Because, as I said in the beginning of the show, I don't like leaving my house anymore. I just want to be there forever. I have every package, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Netflix, blah, blah, blah. So, I have everything I've ever wanted. I got a girlfriend I love. I got cats. I'm very blessed, as they say in the Midwest, blessed by the best. I don't know if I believe in the best. But what I'm saying is, I'll go to Target or I'll go somewhere and I get anxious. And I'm I just want to be at home.
Dakota told the mag, adding, quote, "Most of the partying takes place inside my house."
I wonder what a house party with Dakota Johnson and Chris Martin is like. Where's their charcuterie board, bro?
Dakota and Chris were first romantically linked back in late 2017, and they have kept their relationship out of the spotlight ever since.
They might be the GOATs at keeping their relationship private, and for the people that don't know what GOAT means, greatest of all time, because I didn't even know they were dating. It's been 5 years. Wow.
They made a public appearance in 2019 at a charity event, and Dakota went on to direct a music video for Coldplay in February 2020.
That's when he knew it was official. She was on a music video that nobody saw besides the UK and any Coldplay fan.
Which she later told Access Hollywood all about.
If you were to say, what does Coldplay sound like? It would be this. Cry, cry, because we're emotional.
How cool was it to get behind the camera?
That was the first video I made. I was so grateful.
At least she got behind the camera in a original way is everybody's trying to make a SoundCloud to make hip-hop music or to make this. And no, that's just a YouTube sound effect. I'm not on the website. But there's so many people that want to get famous from this. And she did it the old school way of being in a song with Coldplay. What a party.
Grateful to be able to make that.
And just a few months later, in December 2020, engagement rumors started to swirl when the Lost Daughter actress was spotted wearing a large emerald diamond on that finger.
Yeah, that's probably why.
The Lovebirds have yet to comment on the speculation, but one person that has publicly endorsed the relationship is Chris's ex-wife and the mother of 2 children, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank God you got the approval. Oh, he was so worried.
In a 2020 interview with Harper's Bazaar, the Goop founder gushed about Dakota.
I forgot that she made a company called Goop. Oh, riveting. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. This next thing, do I want to end with the Maxwell case? No. But they're saying, will Maxwell cooperate to get a lesser sentence? Like, it just bothers me that like they are essentially getting away with it. Like, I don't believe Jeffrey's dead. I don't know. The whole thing's weird.
Will Ghislaine Maxwell start naming names?
Probably.
That's the big question after the socialite was convicted of being Jeffrey Epstein's partner in crime.
In all their pictures, I've never seen somebody smile or frown and not have emotion. Like, there's truly no emotion in anybody that was at those parties, any politician ever. It doesn't matter right or left. Anybody that posed with them, it's insane. Like, the look on their face, there's no soul.
It's believed she may now point the finger at some of the world's most famous men in an effort to get a reduced sentence.
I wonder if the rich and elite are like wondering, like the ones that went there, those rich and elite, I'm wondering if they're freaking out that they're going to get caught. Like, and I wonder who it's going to be, because this whole case has creeped me out. First of all, you're having a sketch drawing of the case and cameras aren't allowed in. That's not suspicious. That's normal.
She's going to practice her singing voice.
Could Ghislaine Maxwell cooperate with prosecutors and implicate other high-profile people?
I asked that very question to actress and model Alicia Arden, one of Epstein's accusers.
Do you think that she could name names in order to get a lighter sentence?
I hope she does. 1 convicted, 1 down, and the entire black book to go.
Damn right. All right, this show's about to end. The Mike O radio show is up next. Thanks to Don Miggs and Lisa DiBartolo for allowing me to fill in on their show. Now, if you want to hear more shows like this, Spotify, TuneIn, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Google Play Music, Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio, and RyanHoppeRadio.com, and spread the word, as I say. I record for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life. So don't think I forgot about you. You know what I mean? I'm here hanging out, doing this for you, because we are going to manifest this somewhere to make it big. We're going to make it. Actually, the fact that I'm alive and breathing and talking to you, I've already made it. The Mike O Show is up next.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.